Hallo, guten Tag, friends. Welcome to Blue Ridge. I tell you what, I'm either sleep deprived right now or I've been doing this for way too long. What do you guys think? Is it time for me to retire? But anyways, I felt, it's like, oh wait, I just saw Sean sitting at that same very position, only it's dark outside. But anyways, are you guys interested in knowing what cities the West Point quarters will drop in? Okay, I just found this out last night after I did the video. I went and someone had produced something on Collector's Universe, which is a PCGS forum. And sure enough, Coin World has the inside track on all the cities that these will drop at and the respective date in which that will happen. Pretty cool stuff. So, I might have to take back everything I just said about these being dropped near a Fed Reserve Bank. That's my bad, guys. My bad. So, I went to go see a man about a horse, and instead I got this juicy information for you guys. So thank you for joining me on this wonderful Thursday morning, wherever you may be. Coin World did an article, I would expect them to, and Coin Week also did one as well. On the 2019 West Point America the Beautiful quarter dollars that are going to be circulating in pocket change nearest you. Okay, this might actually be good news for a lot of you folks that are in less populous towns and cities. We might actually see a pretty good shot of these circulating a little bit more deeper and wider than, say, if they were circulating within New York City and San Francisco and LA. I mean, it's pretty nuts. So I'm like, oh yeah, none of these will ever make it out of the city limits. It's going to be nuts. So you guys are here for one thing and one thing only. So let's go ahead and get started. The list is available on coinworld.com, but if you wanted to hear my beautiful voice, you certainly can stick around for the list. So April 1st, the coin destinations that are designated. Now keep in mind, April 1st is not the drop date. Okay, that's the ship to date. Okay, in which these cities probably have banks that already have these. Now, maybe not the banks, but that, like the armored car companies like Loomis and NF String and Brinks and those guys will have these. So there's a 4 to 6 week period between when they receive it and all of the sorting, rolling, and shipping out to all the local banks. So like I had mentioned, this is going to be something that'll probably go into full effect probably the end of the month and into the first 2 weeks of May for the Lowell National Park quarter. Okay, so stay tuned. So I'm just going to go ahead and name off all the cities and their designated states. Kind of shocked that California was not on the first list. So April 1st, so 4 to 6 weeks from this period point. In Colorado, Denver. No big surprise there. Florida, we have Jacksonville, Miami, Orlando, and Pensacola. So for you folks out that way, end of April and into the first 2 weeks of May, you want to be able to go out there and look through some rolls. Atlanta, Hotlanta, Georgia is going to be hot, man. There's going to be some coins over there. There's a Fed Reserve Bank there, by the way. Chicago, Indianapolis, Louisville, Kentucky. That's interesting. Shreveport, Louisiana. That's also interesting. A little bit smaller town. Boston, no surprise. Baltimore and Beltsville in Maryland. That's kind of interesting too. Interesting choices on a few of these in a good way. Detroit, Michigan. Minneapolis, no surprise there. Jackson, Mississippi. All right, for all you Southern boys down there, make sure you head to the bank. In Missouri, we have Kansas City and St. Louis. Here's a good one. Helena, Montana. Yeah, okay. Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right, I'm McLovin' that. New York City. Okay, that's no surprise there. Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, the birthplace of gold coins. Pretty cool. I like that. In Ohio, we got 2 designated spots. Cincinnati and the home of Summit Racing, Talmadge. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. No Philadelphia on there. That's kind of crazy. In Tennessee, we have Memphis and Nashville. In Texas, we got Dallas. I'm not surprised. Houston, I'm not surprised. And San Antonio. Okay. Salt Lake City in Utah. Richmond, Virginia. Not surprised there. There's a Fed Reserve Bank there as well. And Seattle. Okay, so that's your first preliminary drop zone dates, April 1st. So figure 4 to 6 weeks after that. Okay, because I got to do the processing. But hey, get started early. You never know. All right, so that's the first part of the list. Okay, and then for some other cities, okay, that will be dispersed throughout the month of April past that April 1st date. We have Birmingham, Alabama. Very cool. Very cool. Phoenix, Arizona. In California, this is an interesting list. Los Angeles, Oakland, and Ontario. Okay. The Oakland is an interesting choice. I mean, it's right across the Bay Bridge. So that's actually closer to where I live. I mean, I'm still out in Sac. But yeah, I think I'm going to be making a few trips out that way. You know, I'm a member of Chase Bank. So Denver, Colorado, which was, by the way, on the beginning list for April 1st. Let's see, and in Florida, Jacksonville, Miami, Orlando, Pensacola. So they're doubling up on some of the disbursements there. Atlanta, Chicago, Indianapolis. Okay, so they have a couple more spots kind of out there in Iowa, Davenport and Des Moines. That's pretty cool. Louisville, Kentucky. And then Louisiana, they have more Shreveport allotment and New Orleans. Okay. Boston. And then in Maryland, we saw Baltimore and Beltsville, but they also added in Nottingham. Okay. You have Detroit, Minneapolis, Jackson, Mississippi again. So they're doubling their efforts there with more coins to seed out. Kansas City, St. Louis. Okay, here we go. They added in Omaha, Nebraska. I like that. Las Vegas. Sounds like a solid choice, but you know they added that one to the back 9 list for later in the month. We got more Albuquerque, New York City, in North Carolina. So they had Charlotte. They added in Morrisville. So if you're in that Morrisville region, I don't know where quite that is in the good old state of North Carolina, but check that out. In Ohio, you still have Cincinnati and Talmadge, Pittsburgh. In Tennessee, Memphis and Nashville. In Texas, Houston and San Antonio. So Dallas dropped off of that one. Richmond, Virginia. And the final one, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Was that Native American for the Promised Land from Wayne's World? Yeah, it's just... So there's a couple interesting choices. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Okay, we're going to start out with my neck of the woods, Oakland, California. Now, why Oakland and not San Francisco? San Francisco is a very progressive city. It's very expensive, and a lot of people do digital payments there. So I would venture to guess that they kind of took a look at the spending habits and demographics of these regions, and they're playing off of that, which is smart. Okay, it's a smart kind of way of taking a look at this at a, you know, as a disbursement, organic growth type method. In Oakland, you have a lot more people that spend cash. Okay, it's not as digital as San Francisco, which is a good thing for me because I don't have to pay no gosh darn $10 across the Bay Bridge. So that's a huge plus. So I'm going to be checking out some Oakland banks here in about 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm probably going to go a few times over the course of that period just to try it out. no harm, no gain, nothing, you know. And then I'll break whatever I get on video for you guys. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, so Oakland is quite a different choice than what I had expected. Let's see what else. I mean, you know, the places with Fed Reserve banks, I'm not surprised. Like Denver, you know, Dallas is in there. New York City is an obvious choice. The couple of Iowa cities, that's pretty cool. Let's get out into the heartland. So there's a few areas I wish they could have probably targeted. You know, the Dakotas, obviously. The more northeastern region, like someone had mentioned in one of my previous videos that, oh yeah, Maine's not on there. Maybe we should just, you know, join up with Canada. And I was like, man, that stinks. Let's see where else. I mean, they got the Southwest covered. You have Phoenix and Albuquerque. You got Salt Lake City and Vegas, LA. So there's going to be no shortage of those coins going around there. Jacksonville, Miami, Orlando, Pensacola. Okay. The odds are Tampa's going to be missing out, and so is Fort Myers in that area, Bremerton. Let's see, nothing in South Carolina. We have Tennessee. Yeah, there's Tennessee in here, and there's Kentucky. Let's see. Was there anything in Nebraska? Yeah, Omaha. That was on the later disbursement. So yeah, exciting stuff. So April 1st is for that first set of cities, and then for the remainder of April, destination locations are the second half of that list. Of course, they're doubling down efforts in some of the bigger cities. Okay, and then a few kind of interesting choices for continuous disbursement for the entire month of April, like Charlotte, North Carolina. I found that pretty different. Same with Beltsville. Where's Beltsville? Is that like DC? The Beltway, right? I don't know, but pretty cool stuff. Yeah, more. This is probably the final broadcast I'm gonna put up until I actually received some physical coin in my hand. I'm gonna see if I can grab a hold of like $1,000 of assorted quarter rolls from various banks, and I'll force my wife to come with me. She could be the wheelman in all this stuff, but sounds good. Again, there's still a lot of buzz on the aftermarket kind of secondary market value of these coins. I stand by my position. You know, in case anyone had any sort of apprehension of what I'm talking about. Seriously, the first 7 to 10 coins that hit eBay are going to go off like gangbusters, and then you're going to start to see this tail off. Now, keep in mind, the survival rate on these coins is going to be insanely low, which means a lot of BU, high-end, mid-state examples will be plucked out of rolls in circulation really quickly. Now, it's not going to be a lot. Okay, we're not talking rolls and rolls and rolls of these things. We're going to be talking about a very small number of them. You know, it's not going to take long for these coins to get circulated enough that they'll end up in the mint state 62 to 64 region. And then those are going to be the coins that, you know, like I guess Sparky had mentioned. I'm going to give you a quick little shout out on this one, man. Yeah, these will probably settle in the $10 to $20 range in varying degrees of grade. Okay, I could see AU coins fitting in this mold along with some of those low mid-state grades. I don't anticipate seeing a lot of these grade out under like kind of a high XF or AU. Like you're not going to find any low balls of these. You might find that one kind of like coin that never got discovered. That's going to end up being the non-typical in all of this, but. Yeah, it's going to be a fun journey. I tell you what, it's great to be a coin collector today. And you know, it's great to live in this era, even though, you know, we tend to go to the root of the digital age. You know, we're paying with our phones and you know, sending PayPal and Venmo and, you know, paying with apps. So you know, think of this as a little mini resurgence. Now let's see how the Mint does and Mr. Ryder does in moderating this campaign. You can't get too greedy with it. Okay, you need to. He needs to, not you folks. Yeah, you don't have to do anything, but you know, search. The search is on, but he needs to kind of suppress the desire to make this too much of a thing where it becomes less special over time. You know, I think they're doing a good job doing just the 5 quarters this year, and that needs to be it. Like, don't say, oh yeah, we're gonna send out a Lincoln Cent that's this and this variety, or a West Point nickel. No, keep it very ultra exclusive. You don't want to dilute the market with this, but it's cool nonetheless. So check out the Coin World article. It's on their website, coinworld.com, if you want to take a look at more information. I mean, the only thing new on this one is going to be that list of cities, and that's where you can pull it off of. But yeah, game on, playa. Let's go ahead and do this. Thank you guys again for joining in on this one. Give your boy you know, a great big like, share, subscribe this. And yeah, let everyone know that these cities are definitely going to be all in on this really cool treasure hunt. So thank you guys for joining in, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, take care.